Hello and welcome to the next in our study of Women of the Bible. This week we're moving into the book of Acts. And there's certainly several women mentioned and studied in the book of Acts. The first of those is Sapphira, very often associated with her husband Ananias. So Sapphira means beautiful or sapphire, and she was the first woman singled out for prominence in Acts. But Sapphira failed God, and in doing so caused her own death. Throughout the ages, her name has been linked not with beauty, but with deliberate deceit. Sapphira and Ananias apparently had an agreeable marriage and cooperated with each other. As members of the early Jerusalem church and devoted disciples of Jesus, they had allied themselves with the apostles. But Sapphira and her husband made a fatal mistake in judgment. They mixed greed with generosity. Members of the church in Jerusalem sold their property and presented the proceeds as a gift to the apostles. Such selflessness earned admiration, and their gift of money was then used to help the poor. Selfishness and deceit entered into this couple's hearts, however. They sold their plot of ground, but submitted only a portion of the profits. The couple then lied about the full price received for their land so that they could keep part of the money for themselves, while appearing to give all profit to the church. With perceptive insight, Peter challenged Ananias about his duplicity and sin against God. Ananias, caught in his own deliberate lie, fell down and died instantly. Several hours later, Sapphira came to Peter. She too was questioned about the price of the land. Unaware of her husband's death, Sapphira confirmed his deceit. Peter also charged her with offence to the Spirit of God, informed her of Ananias' death, and then predicted her own imminent death. Immediately, she fell down and died and was buried next to her husband. The deaths of Sapphira and Ananias stunned and frightened the small congregation. God showed Sapphira and Ananias, as well as the Jerusalem church, that he allows no dishonesty in his relationship with his disciples. Through the tragic story of Sapphira, the beautiful one, God continues to show women that one's relationship with the Lord must be based on more than empty promises. That is, upon the integrity of a heart commitment. The second lady that we're looking at is Candace, the Queen of the Ethiopians. Almost nothing is known about this woman. Candace was the title used by the queens of Meroe, the capital of Ethiopia, a region of Nubia just south of Egypt. This woman surfaced briefly, not because she was a prominent figure, at least in the early church, but because of the actions of her servant. Scripture records her servant as a man of Ethiopia, a eunuch of great authority, under Candace, the queen of the Ethiopians. Acts 8 and verse 27. An angel of the Lord told the Apostle Philip to travel from Jerusalem to Gaza. Philip obeyed and met the Ethiopian eunuch during his journey. The eunuch was reading from Isaiah the prophet when Philip encountered him. After a deep but brief theological conversation, the eunuch became a believer in Jesus Christ. When they came to some water, upon the eunuch's request, Philip baptized him. The new believer went on his way, rejoicing. He is not mentioned again. When the eunuch returned home, did his newfound faith and vibrant testimony have an impact on his queen Candace? The Bible doesn't say. Even with her royal status, the queen remained secondary, as scripture highlights her servant, the Ethiopian eunuch. For one day, on the road from Jerusalem to Gaza, he made a decision that granted him royal status, even greater than that of a queen. He became a son of the heavenly King. Thanks very much.